This is the Acer Chromebook 14. Okay, so this rather battered looking box is a well looked at product already by Acer. This is the Chromebook 14. It's one of their more popular Chromebooks out there, and certainly is one of the most enticing options on the market. Rather than paying the big money for the Pixelbook, people are enticed by a small price tag, and £300 at the top end of the market is not a bad price to pay for this. Obviously, if you shop around you can find it for a bit less, but currently on currys.co.uk it's £299. So there we have some of the specifications on the side of the box. I'm noticing here actually this is the 2GB version. There is a 4GB version, and this has the Intel Celeron processor inside. Oh, it's a bit of a pain. I was hoping for the 4GB version. Alright, well, we'll dig in and see what it's like. It has the Intel Celeron processor, the N3160, which is a quad-core 1.6 GHz or 2.2 GHz in turbo boost mode. It comes with a charger, which is a very standard charger that you would expect to see with this sort of thing, and that little cable there. If you've lost yours, that's what you're looking for. And that's about it in the box, aside from the unit itself. And we have an Acer International Traveller's brochure, Acer 14 setup guide, and that's your lot. So in a tidy little keepsafe here we have a beautiful piece of kit. Actually, it feels initially lovely. I can't help but think that it just, for all the initial impressions, it's not going to be a great experience because it's only got 2GB of RAM, but you can still operate on that. So we have, it's plastic, but it's like an aluminium effect on the top. It's quite nice. It feels pretty good quality in the hand. Acer logo there, and chrome of course. It looks lovely. It's a brushed steel effect, brushed aluminium effect. Along the back here we have the hinge, which is black plastic, sticks out like a sore thumb, and then this area here as well is obviously well, it feels strong. It feels like it is aluminium, but I'm pretty sure it's just plastic effect. Over here we have the power connector, or the power port, 3.5mm headphone jack for combo use, LED, battery, and backlight is that, or is keyboard light or something like that. That could be exciting. And around here we have nothing along the front, very minimal. And then we have an HDMI port, two USB 3.1s, no USB-C on this. This has been out for a wee while, this laptop. So we have a Kensington lock there. Over this side we have some down firing speakers here. There's two grills and two grills up on this end as well. We have 4 rubber feet to avoid scratching surfaces, and that's about it for the whole way around. Then we open her up, and it all looks really lovely inside. So we have this generous keyboard here that we'll get into in a second. Intel inside, Acer Chromebook 14 Chromebook, all metal chassis, up to 14 hours battery life, ultra thickness, 2/3 of an inch, 16.95mm. 3 times faster Wi-Fi with AC in there, and a wide field view webcam, which we'll come to in a second. So we have this large spacious trackpad. Be looking forward to see how well this works. Initially it feels quite good. You can hear there's a click, a good click, and then there's a large amount of space. If I was to hold up my Samsung Galaxy S8. You can see that it is larger, wider than a Samsung Galaxy S8. And we have almost a full keyboard. Google's quite particular about the layout of the keyboard. Obviously we don't have F keys, we have these keys instead that perform various Chromey type functions. The day that Chrome decides, or Google decides to change these, is the day that we all cry. We have a D-pad down here for navigation, and it's a Chromebook, so gaming is not the focus of it, although you do get quite a bit with the Acer or with the Android App Store. We have a very large Control and Alt button here, and then not quite so large ones over here. A small Enter button, which I suppose is useful. A large backspace, but crucially no delete. To achieve delete, I think you hold down Control and backspace, or Shift and backspace, to activate a delete function. And Shift and a dedicated search button over there, the Tab button, and yeah, it looks like a nice enough keyboard. I'm really interested to see if it's backlit. Then the screen, obviously we haven't turned it on yet, so you can't really tell too much about it. It's a 1920 by 1080 screen, full HD IPS LED backlit. So we'll turn her on, hopefully there's some power in it. Nope. Okay, so there we have some power in it. It was sent to us totally dead. This is an anti-glare screen as well. We have a light right behind us showing up here, and that's not too bad what you see on camera. It looks quite nice. We have blurred creative on there, so I'm going to sign in with my own credentials. Okay, and we're in. So I'll stick my cheesy face as the image. It'll start to sync all my profile over, so that might take a while for all the Google extensions and things like that to pop in, but right away we can see we've got the Android App Store installed initially. And it's actually quite lovely. My Chromebook is an 11-inch Chromebook, so it's a little bit cramped. And then I've recently taken a look at the Acer Chromebook Tab 10, which you can see in the links, which is also quite cramped. So this will be my first experience in a long time of a Chromebook with a generous proportion, a 14-inch screen and this big keyboard. And typing in my passwords and things like that all seem to be rather nice. Okay, so after a few minutes, it's installed all of my extensions and my apps and things like that so far, and I've just noticed that there's an update to Google, but that only takes a second for it to actually apply. We're back in, good to go. I am noticing, well, maybe it was just that boot screen there, but there was an extra thick black line there, but not over here. Okay, so a couple of things. The keyboard does not appear to be backlit, so that light at the side that's currently glowing blue beside the light of the battery that's currently orange doesn't really have much of a function that I can see, other than it's on, or the LED backlight on the screen is possibly on. We do not have a touchscreen here. This is trackpad only, which is a bit of a shame, I suppose, but there's not too much you can do with that. So we have Android applications as well that go in, and this brings us almost pretty much to the end, because the Chrome is Chrome. It'll run pretty well. If you open about 8 to 10 tabs at once, then you'll probably notice that it starts to become a bit sluggish. Under our menu, we have Play Store, VLC, some of the plugins that I use on a daily basis, and then what we are looking for is the camera, just to see how that works out. Hello. Well, it does appear to be quite smooth, a little bit grainy perhaps, and we'll take a little picture and then we'll maybe record some video and try and put that in here as well. Okay, so when trying to do that video, I noticed that it didn't actually save whenever I went to pop it into the actual video I'm making now for you. Although I did have a quick test to see if maybe I'd done something wrong, and obviously I did. But the sound quality was actually pretty good. The microphone on here is quite full-bodied and crisp. The video quality isn't great. I have one window beside me, and it looks like I have no color to the left side of my face, which isn't a bad thing because you can't see too much of me. Excellent. So we'll put this in instead, and you can judge for yourself on the quality of the microphone and the picture quality somewhat, but I guess it's just functional. That'll do. And we'll close the camera down. It was terribly polite, wasn't it? Google Apps is obviously taking its time, and we'll leave that doing its thing because it's just Google Apps. It's a lovely piece of hardware, and I would thoroughly recommend springing the extra couple of quid to get the 4 gigabyte version, because it's just something that's irking me in the back of my mind that this only has 2 gigabytes of RAM. We need 4. Also, these USB 3 ports here are going to be a bit of a pain, but I suppose most people have peripherals that'll fit these. USB-C is a standard now, but still it's a slower adoption, so you might do quite well with these. HDMI out is always a bonus. I do wonder how well this is going to work on a really big screen. Hopefully I'll have one arriving fairly soon that I'll be able to test this with and blow it up on the big screen. But otherwise, that's the Acer Chromebook 14, the CB3431. And I'm going to go and put it through its paces. I'm going to try and use it on a daily basis once I finish with the Chromebook tab and see how we go with it. So if you have any questions, let me know in the comments box down below. Hit that subscribe button, give us a wee thumbs up if you fancy, and other than that, take care.